peppermint bark. If you celebrate Christmas, if you don't celebrate Christmas, this is the time of year to make peppermint bark. It's yummy, and it's the time of year that you can get candy canes, which is what you need. This is super easy. There's no real baking required. You need a 13 by 9. I'm going to use one with a low side. I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper in the bottom, but you can put wax paper or you can do it without that. You need a pound, 16 ounces of white chocolate chips. For some reason, these come in 11-ounce bags. It doesn't need to be precise. I'm doing 11 ounces plus, I don't know, a little less than half of a second bag. 12 ounces of chocolate chips. You can use dark chocolate if you want. You can use bar chocolate if you want. It just has to be able to melt. 6 to 8 ounces of candy canes. I like the little ones because they're easier to unwrap. So I already unwrapped these. You can put them in a bag and crush them with a rolling pin, or I'm gonna do them in the Cuisinart, but whatever, just to get them into smaller pieces. So you need to melt the chocolate. Start with the brown chocolate, the chocolate. 30-second intervals, although I know that with my microwave, which isn't super powerful, I can start with 1 minute. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, this won't have done much, but the glass is warm, and I'm gonna stir it. I'm going to put it back in now for just 30 seconds, and probably the next time I do it will be the last. So that's just about done. There's definitely still chocolate chunks in there, but I'm going to let it sit for a minute because I don't want it overheated, because then it can seize up. So while that's melting the rest of the way, I'm going to do the white chocolate the same way. All right, so while the white chocolate is still in there for that first minute, this chocolate finished melting. There's no more chunks in it. It's still kind of warm. And so I'm going to pour it onto this paper, and then I'm going to spread it out. And I'm going to try not to let it go over the edge of the paper and around underneath, because then it'll defeat the purpose of having the paper there. So this hasn't done much either. So we'll do the same thing. We'll stir it up and then give it 30 more seconds. I actually don't think this needs a full 30 seconds, but we'll see what happens. Meantime, this is spread out, and I have to say, chocolate chips are harder to spread out than if you use bar chocolate. So while that 30 seconds is happening with the white chocolate, we'll see what happens if we put these in the food processor. You're going to have to come up with some sort of sound over this. This is going to make a racket. Oh, perfect. So while this is still warm, we're going to put a half a teaspoon peppermint extract in it, and then stir it really well. You can put more if you want. I think half a teaspoon is pretty good. And then I'm going to put it right over that brown chocolate. You can also make it a little easier by putting the first layer of chocolate in the fridge, because this is going to mix up just a little bit. But it also helps it bind together when it's still a little bit warm. So once it's spread out and while it's still warm, you want to get some of that peppermint in there. So the dust around the edges. And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for about half an hour. More like an hour or two. The advantage of putting it on the paper is that it comes out really easily. And then you can just break it up and it's all ready to eat. Okay, well, it's not that easy. Did I just put a piece in there?
Did you not see me eating it?
I didn't. Okay, so now it's gonna sit for another 20 minutes to get a little colder. So I snapped these off with the tip of the knife, and then I got sidetracked again, and now the chocolate's room temperature, and it doesn't come off quite as easily, but just going down through to make uneven pieces is what you want to do. And then it is ready to eat.